Hi, I'm Rosie Cruz. I am here collaborating with Fugitive Watch, Scott Castorita, on these next few episodes that we're going to be seeing. And just so you guys have a background, I'm a show host. I have my own show called Independent Filmmakers in the Bay Area. Scott has been doing this for quite a long time, since 1992, reporting on crimes across the nation, all over the world. He's been catching criminals through this platform that he's created with Steve Ferdine, both who are former San Jose police, from the San Jose Police Department, which is, part of the Bay Area. I'm really honored to be here because, with all the things that are happening in our nation, this can give us some real perspective from a former police officer and help us to at least start off the conversation between a citizen and someone who has, the street experience, and maybe we can get some insight for all of us. So, just to start off the show, you actually sent this to me by text on what had happened, because I happened to be in San Jose and I was driving home. I was actually at a protest, and I had no idea this was happening off 101. So to my surprise, when I clicked on the video, I was like, oh my gosh, that's why I can't get home. And I was with my kids. So, what, let's see, let's talk about this. It's, there's some attacks on 101. Take it over.
This started off, this was like at the beginning of all the protesting. And as we know, and I without getting all into the politics and everything, because we have to remember that there's still victims out there and there's still crimes that are happening amongst just the stuff that we're seeing in the news. And in this particular case, we have people that feel that they have a right to go out and protest, which all of us know that that's fine. That's good. You should go out and have peaceful protests. Here's a group of people in San Jose, California, who decided to go out on the freeway and stop cars. Now, I'm sure emotions were high if you've ever been trying to get home from work and then suddenly you're stuck in traffic and you have no idea why, and you find out it's a bunch of people just standing out there keeping you from going. And in this particular case, the reason why I brought it up was I think that some of these, I'm going to show you a suspect that we would like to ID this guy. And what you're going to see in the video, it's crazy, because watch this video. Look at this. These four people are in their car. Now, I have no idea what sparked it or what caused it or why, but really, does that really matter?
She just tried to get in. Like, I just saw her grab the handle and try to get in.
Yeah, and what do you think what was her plan if she had opened that door? This guy here, he was going to hit it. He probably was more worried about breaking his skateboard than he was about hitting the car, getting caught. But really, I mean, what is that accomplishes? We all know that really doesn't accomplish anything. And I'm going to get back to this guy here. I want you to take a good peek at him. We really need to ID this guy. He needs to go to jail. And he's not there he's not peacefully protesting. He's not doing anything. He's a criminal. He's a thug. Now, one of the things I want to talk about too is that this could have turned out completely different, because if that person in that car was in a position, if they were armed, they had a weapon, if it was an off-duty police officer or anybody that was carrying a weapon and decided to take this guy on, this could have been a completely different outcome. Because I know that if I was sitting in that car, I would have been scared. I would have been scared for my life, thinking, if he gets through that window, which kind of amazed me that window didn't break. I'm thinking maybe the window tint, or it sure did hold up better than that Tesla window that we saw when they threw the bolt through it. I don't know if you saw that, but
no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be able to handle all this impact, and it shattered. But anyway, this window did not shatter. So I guess I'm guessing he has some sort of tint. So I'm hoping somebody out there recognizes this guy and the gal in this video. I mean, look, that's violent. That's violent.
Yeah.
And what's her purpose here? If you watch her, what's her plan? She's yelling. She's trying to open the door. She's kicking the car, you know. And a lot of people are going to say, well, you know, it's a property crime. It's not a big deal. It's just it looks like the back window got smashed out too. Notice that? Look at that.
Yeah, I just noticed that. Yeah, that just happened.
I just noticed that myself. That's scary. That is just scary. And now we're seeing these scenes play out over and over and over the media right now. And the one thing I want to remind people that you know, there's more to than what we're just seeing on TV right now. There's a lot of crime going on, and in this case, anybody that disagrees with me that this guy needs to be prosecuted and be made an example of, and that goes for all these people that switch over from protester to rioter or domestic terrorist, whatever you want to refer to them as. Mm-hmm. They need to be picked up. Mm-hmm. So anyway, again, if you have any idea who this guy might be, you can give us a call at 1-800-9-CAUGHT. You can find us at fugitive.com. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. And as Rosie said, I've been doing this for a long time. I started this show in 1992. I started my police career in the early 80s and did almost 30 years. I retired as a San Jose police officer, a sergeant there. I continued to do this after I retired, and I'm still looking for bad guys. And I'm hoping that to keep that movement going and keep people tuning in and helping us out. So, and now Rosie, I want to talk about this. This is this is kind of a heartbreaking story, but at the same time, it's a beautiful story. So it is a beautiful story. This is a Louisiana State Trooper, and what happened to this guy is he was shot, or excuse me, he was not shot. He was run over by a car. They were in a police pursuit, and they had laid out what I'm guessing are spikes to stop the pursuit. And when they went out to retrieve them, apparently he was hit by a car, him and his partner, and he died. And what he did was he donated his organs. His name is George Baker. And as you can see, his fellow officers they're saluting as they're moving his body through the moving it out. And so he donated his organs, and it's a tragedy, but at the same time, I mean, people, they're human too. I mean, these are people. These are police officers, and again, I'm trying to stay away from all the politics and everything that's happening right now. But people have to understand that that it is an honorable profession, and you don't judge all police officers based on what you feel the alleged actions of a police officer that may or may not, that may have been bad. We just don't do that, because that kind of makes us no better than the people that we're judging. So I ask people to understand that these police officers, they have families just like you. They have friends. They got mortgages and car payments just like everybody else. So let's remember that. So anyway, I salute Mr. Baker for his sacrifice, and that's, to me, it's a tough story, but I think that it has some positive rings to it, in a real negative time that we're going through right now.
Well, he did his job to the end, and also saves a few different lives by offering his organs. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and that's something, I guess, you know, I know that I have on my card. I'm an organ donor, and I hope that a lot of people are. Some people, their religion doesn't allow them, or for some reason they don't do it. But it is, when you think about it, it's kind of a way of living on. To be able to give something like that and be a part of that. I think that's really cool. So anyway,
well, moving on to this, this is what the show is mostly about, or these are the stories that I often see. Yeah, these violent crimes that happen all over. You know, your show brings these people to justice. Let's talk about this one here. Yeah.
We have caught close to 3,000 people with the use of people giving us tips. Myself and Steve Ferdine, he handles most of the tips, and he works with all the police departments and all over the world. He tracks these guys down. He's like a dog on a bone when he gets these tips. No matter, sometimes they make no sense to the average person, but he puts them together and he gets them all wrapped up in a package and he hands them over to these police agencies. And we end up getting people that have been wanted for a really long time. If you go to our site at fugitive.com, you can look up. We have fugitives that have been on there. We've been looking for them. Well, we've had them on our site for 28 years since probably 94. We started the show in 92. We were around at the beginning when the internet, we'll say, first started, and we latched on to fugitive.com. So let's get back to this case here. This is out of Houston, and we'll talk a little bit about when you're getting gas, how to prevent from being a victim. You got to really pay attention to your surroundings, because I know myself. I was just telling Rosie that I was getting gas a couple weeks ago, and I was approached by, I guess we'll call them a vagrant, asking me for money because I said they needed gas money. And it's not the first time that's happened to me, but you need to want, when for example, women need to be careful about leaving their purses on the front seat, and making sure that the door on the passenger side is locked so that the bad guy can't jump into your car. I watched the video the other day where the suspect pushed the woman into the car, tried to kidnap her. It was a terrible scene, but she fought, and she fought away. Now in this case, what we have is we got a suspect who, I guess, walks up to the victim and asks to use his phone, and the victim told him, "No, I'm not going to let you use my phone." And as you can see, the fight's on. He tries to beat this guy up and take his phone. So the victim runs into the store to get away from the guy. And in a minute, you're going to see a video inside the store what this guy does. He looks like he's going to walk away and leave, but he changes his mind, and he goes back in the store.
Wow.
And bam, he takes that guy out. He knocks him out and goes over, takes the guy's phone, and leaves. I mean, that's...
Oh my gosh. And there's two people standing right there.
Yeah. But it's different people, it's you want to get involved, you don't want to get involved, it's hard. It's like you don't know what this guy's capable of. My recommendation, and most police officers, retired or not, be the best witness you can. Be the best witness you can. Look at that guy. He's going to have tattoos. He's going to be wearing a ring in his ear. There's going to be something that you can give the responding officers to help them out. Do I recommend that you go hands-on with the guy? I mean, if you feel pretty confident in your skill level as a fighter and you feel that you can, but really at this point, you're going to take your life into your own hands. But the real dangerous thing that people don't really realize, how that it looks like, oh, what's the big deal? He went in and he punched the guy and knocked him out. But as we all know, people die from that. He could have easily, this guy could easily have been charged with murder. And so anyway, I know somebody
It's
out there.
true.
Yeah, easily. I mean, look at back a while back. What was it at the Dodgers game where they had to fight in the parking lot? The guy hit his head, and his whole life was ruined over that. I have posted many videos on our site where they go around playing what they call a knockout game, where they go up and they just knock people out for no reason. And people, you hit somebody right, they hit their head, they go down and hit the side of the counter, they're dead. So here's a really good look. Take a peek at this guy. Come on. Somebody's got to know him. Somebody out there knows who he is. Give us a call at 1-800-9-CAUGHT, or you can send the tips to it's tips@fugitive.com. You can send us a tip if you know who the guy is.
This was in Louisiana, you said?
No, this one's in Houston.
In Houston, okay.
This was a Houston gas station.
Got it.
So, as I said, I'm pretty sure somebody out there has to know who this guy is. So, and so again, give us a call, 1-800-9-COT. And Rosie, thank you for spending a little bit of time showing some criminals with us. And this is a real, this is a tough time we're going through right now, and the whole world's watching us right now.
Yeah.
I like to look at when we started Fugitive Watch, and we used to tell people we gave people a way of fighting crime and fighting back and taking a stance from the safety of their own living rooms. That was back when we just had a TV show. And then it was from the safety from behind their computer and our newspaper. It's your way of giving back to your community and being a part of your community when you get involved. And this is a positive way right now that I feel people can be involved. And if you're not comfortable going out there and marching down the street and taking a chance of a bunch of thugs showing up and hijacking your protest and turning it into something that can get you or your friends or somebody hurt. So this is a way you can do it. And we'll call it the silent protest. So.
Well, I want to thank you for even inviting me to come on with you, because after my experience last week, I had a lot of mixed feelings, and Steve is my cousin, just so everybody knows. And I've grown up listening to stories from him and watching you guys. And the purpose and your reason for doing this is obviously clear. You've been fighting crime, all your lives. This is who you are. But I do want to understand a little bit of your thought processes as we go along. If, as we go, I don't know how long this is going to happen. The purpose of being out there and protesting is so people can be heard. And yes, everybody is angry, and there are multiple reasons of being angry, but to channel your anger into a positive purpose is the only way to go. And fighting things like this is the true fight. We don't want this, right? We don't want these crimes on the street. We don't want this hate to be triggering more hate. We just want to have peace among all. And so
we need to police ourselves.
We do.
We truly do. We need to police ourselves. We need to be good Americans. We need to be good citizens. We need to be good humans. That's what it comes down to. Because everybody is a human and should be treated as a human. And people shouldn't be placing people in categories. Now, if you so desire to put yourself in a category, and if you want to be a thug and you want to go out there and smash out windows and steal and do the things that you want to do, well, then you can't come crying when you get arrested or you find yourself in a situation and you feel that you're being treated unfairly. It's, we have choices. We do. We have choices. And I know that myself, watching this on the news every day, I've been sick to my stomach, and it's bad enough. We're going through this whole pandemic thing, and we're trying to reopen, and people are trying to get back into society. And
no, I feel like we've been tossed back. Yeah. And I have similar feelings. So I think expressing that, we all should really think about what we do when we get out in the street, and how we say things, and be very, very, not careful, but very, very specific in what we say and what we do.
And we need to be open-minded. We need to listen to other people. And we need to not discount other people's experiences in their life and what they perceive, whether it's real or not. Perception is huge. And if somebody perceives they were wrong, then that's just as good sometimes as but again, I listen to a lot of people. I try to think of myself as an open-minded person, and I try to share my experiences in my life are different than your experiences or a lot of the viewers that are watching the show right now. Their experiences are different. But that doesn't mean I don't want to hear what you've been through. Doesn't mean that I don't want to grow from that. Just like you shouldn't want to not grow from other people's experiences, because that's what makes us human. So on that,
That's right.
It is. It's what
Thank you.
And it's what makes us who we are.
Yeah.
So on that note, I want to thank you for helping me host this. And again, if anybody wants to send us a message, we're super easy to find at fugitive.com. You can learn everything and anything you want to know. Come join us on Instagram too. That would be awesome. We're getting some good conversations going there. A little bit on the lighter side. I try to do a lot of funny stuff on there. Our Facebook page is kind of more serious and in between. And our website is pretty much just solid bad guys and crime stories. So we're trying to mix it up a little bit. So again, thank you very much. Until next time, I'm Scott Castorita.
And I'm Rosie Cruz. Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you next time.
You know what? To get myself out of this mess, I'm going to have to call Bad Boy. Bad Boy. 1-800-224-5688. Bail out.
Bad boys. Bad boys bailed on.
Somebody please call Mama. Oh, Mama.
On my way, baby.
Help me. Look at here.
1-800-224-5688. Baby, because your mama wants you home.
Fugitive Watch is brought to you by Classic Car Wash, voted Silicon Valley's best car wash 7 years in a row. There are 4 convenient locations: Campbell, Los Gatos, San Jose, and Saratoga. Log on to classiccarwash.com for coupons and locations.
Yeah, I'll be 23 back on that town property case, and I'll be 76